Good morning, students. Students, we already completed our history third chapter, third lesson, that is religious synthesis. So, let us revise the lesson. Okay, students? If you have any doubt, now you can ask me. Okay? Now we'll revise the lesson. Here I'll explain you the meaning of synthesis. Synthesis means what? Synthesis means a combination of ideas. Say, what is the meaning of synthesis? Combination of ideas means the combination of religions. So Indian society, in India, there are many languages are spoken. Diversity of languages and many religions are followed, which is the important feature of Indian society. Considering this feature, the Indian constitution has adopted principle of secularism. Among these efforts, it was the basic principle. This basic principle, while keeping mind this basic principle, the Bhakti movement, Sikhism and Sufi sect have an important place, have a significant place in a Bhakti movement. Which of the three things have more importance? Bhakti movement, Sikhism and Sufi sect have an important place. So these different streams of thoughts arouse in different parts of India. So about these things, about Bhaktis, about Sikhism, about Bhakti movement and Sufi sect, there different thoughts arouse in different parts of India. They emphasize harmony, they emphasize peace between the different sects, religions, along with the devotion of gods. Different thoughts through the devotion of God. So that we'll learn in this chapter. So, in the different regions of India, we find different forms of the path of devotion. There are sub all have their different devotions, different things, different way to pray the God. So in different regions of India, we find the different forms of the path of devotion according to the local situation there, based on their situation. In Bhakti movement, in Bhakti movement they used only common people's language, it's which is useful for the common people. Instead of Sanskrit language, they used only common people's language. This helped people to develop of their regional languages. So when they use their common people's language, this help to develop the regional languages. Okay. So now let us understand about this Bhakti movement. What is the Bhakti movement actually? Where this Bhakti movement originate? Who involved in this? Which how many saints? Which saint involved in this Bhakti movement? What was their contribution? So let us understand. Bhakti movement which was originated in South India. Bhakti movement, where Bhakti movement originate? Yes, South India. There are two parts in Bhakti movements. Bhakti movements which was divided into two parts. One Nainar and Alwar. In Nainar, the devotees of Shiva, and in Alavas there was a devotee of Vishnu. And there were also one is there. There were also attempts to consider Shiva and Vishnu as the same. The people who consider as a Shiva and a Vishnu as a one and the same, and bring them together as a Harihar idols. They depict in that Harihar idols half of the Vishnu devotees and half of the Shiva devotees were produced in this period on a large scale. People belonging to all social strata had participated in Bhakti movement. In Bhakti movement, all people are can join this Bhakti movement. This Bhakti movement, which kind of values have they preached? They preach values like love of God, then humanity, compassion, mercy. This kind of values they preached in a Bhakti movement. That in Bhakti movement saints, they told people that God is for all. God does not discriminate. God is for all. all are equal, that does not discriminate caste, creed, religion. Okay, the teachings of Ramanuja, these teachings, these thoughts of equality has encouraged people to great impact on South India, encouraged people to join this bhakti movement. Then Saint Ramanand also strengthened this bhakti movement in North India. So in the here the Saint Kabir, who was the who well-known saint in a bhakti movement, his teachings also same, that all are equal, all the truth was a God. For Sant Kabir, truth was a God. He thought that all human beings are equal. There is no partiality. They did not believe any differences based on, means does not discriminate caste, creed, sect, and religion. For him, all he wanted to bring Hindu-Muslim unity. He wanted to bring Hindu people and Muslim people together to bring unity. So that's why he criticized those orthodox people in the both Hindu and Muslim religions. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who gave more importance to Krishna Bhakti. And due to his teachings, people are joined in the Bhakti movement. Then Saint Mirabai, who was belonging to a royal family, rich family, she also joined this Bhakti movement, and she composed devotional verses in Rajasthani and Gujarati. Her devotional verses give the message of devotion, tolerance, and humanity. Then in Karnataka, Basaveshwar, uh, who spread the Lingayat system, that he and he also he encouraged women to participate in the movement, to participate in his movement. Men and women belonging to all castes began to participate. What he wanted that women also participate in this bhakti movement, and took the participation, and they participate in the discussion. Then we also learn that Sri Basaveshwar, who conveyed his teaching, who passed his teachings in a language of the people, he passed his teachings in a various languages, the language of people, that is Kannada, the medium of Vachana literature. His work had a great impact on a society. Then we learn about Mahanubhav Pant, which was Chandrahar Swami, Chakradhar Swami, who founded this Mahanubhav Panth in Maharashtra only, and he preached the devotion to Krishna. And here there were the devotees of Krishna. Sri Govind Prabhu was the guru of the Chakradhar Swami. First, Chakradhar Swami founded this Mahanubhav Panth, but he followed the Guru Govind Prabhu. He follow him. He was the follower of Guru Govind Prabhu. He about his values, thoughts. Then this sect mainly spread in a Vidarbha, for Chakradhar Swami, who spread his knowledge, spread his values, spread his teachings in a Vidarbha and Marathwada, which was the regions of Maharashtra. Riddhipur in Vidarbha is an important place of peoples for this sect. This sect had reached up to far away like Punjab, Maharashtra छोड़ के उससे आगे they spread their teaching like up in a Punjab and Afghanistan also. Then we learn about Guru Nanak, who was the founder of Sikhism and first Guru of Sikh. That he visited holy places of both the Hindus and Muslim. Both the holy places he visited. Means for him, he realized that the feeling of devotion was same for everywhere, is common for everywhere. Means he visited Hindu places also. He visited Hindu holy places also and Muslim holy places also. So he did not find any kind of differences over there. So he realized that the feeling of devotion is common for everywhere. He thought that people should be treated equality. His teachings aimed to achieving Hindu and Muslim unity. For him also, he wanted to bring Hindu and Muslim people together, unity, to bring Hindu-Muslim unity. He also emphasized caste behavior. So because of his contribution, his teachings, many people was influenced by by his teachings. So because of his teachings, because of this, because of many people influenced, his followers getting increased day by day. And the followers of Guru Nanak, day by day, because of his teaching, many followers were increased by day, and these followers are known as, the followers of Guru Nanak is known as Sikhs, which means disciplines. And Adi Grantha, also known as Guru Granth Sahiba, is a holy book of Guru of the Sikh. Guru Granth Sahiba is the holy book of Sikhs. Then here the Adi Grantha includes the, in Adi Grantha, in that holy book, which compositions include in that holy book about Guru Nanak, Sant Namdev, Sant Kabir, and other saints also. So Guru Nanak was succeeded by 9 gurus of the Sikhs, and Guru Gobind Singh was the 10th guru of the Sikh. First, what Guru Nanak was 9th guru, and after Guru Nanak, Guru Gobind Singh, who was the 10th guru of the Sikh. After Guru Gobind Singh, regard the Guru Granth Sahib as their guru. After Guru Gobind Singh, people thought that the Guru Granth Sahib was their guru as per the order of Guru Gobind Singh. Next, we learn about the Sufi sect. This sect is in Islam, and Sufi saints believe that, for Sufi saints they believe the full of love, and the way to reach him in the through love and devotion. Their main teaching, the Sufi sect people's main teaching, are through through love and devotion, and the main teaching is for love for all living beings, meditation, and their simple living. What was their main teaching? Sufi sect main teaching? Yes, the Sufi sect main teaching are love for living beings, meditation, and simple living. Here the Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, Sheikh Nizamuddin Awaliya were the great Sufi saints. And all of you underline this sentence, that Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, Sheikh Nizamuddin Awaliya, they were the great Sufi saints. The teachings of these Sufi saints led to unity. Their teachings, Khwaja Moinuddin, Sheikh Nizamuddin Awaliya, their teaching was to unity, to bring unity of Hindu and Muslim communities. What was their teaching? To bring Hindu and Muslim people together, to bring the unity of Hindu Muslim. Sufi music has made valuable contribution to Indian music. Sufi music was a great importance, have a more importance, valuable contribution to Indian music. So the path of bhakti. So till here we learn about the bhakti movement. So the path of this bhakti taught by the saints. Here we learn about the different teachings of the different saints, for equality, for unity of Hindu Muslim, for their teachings. So the path of bhakti taught by saints too was easy to follow for the common people. Here the teaching was very simple, which was understood, which was easily followed by a common people. The bhakti movement was open to all men and women, means there was no partiality. All human beings are equal. That's why in bhakti movement anyone can join bhakti movement. Anyone, men, women, they can also participate in a bhakti movement and their discussions. The saints express their thoughts. Here in bhakti movement, the saints express their thoughts and feelings in the language of a common people, the language which people understood. In that language they express their views and ideas and thoughts to people understood more. The common people found that, and because of that the common people found that close to their heart, because they use their language only, common people's language only. That's why the common people found them close to their heart. And this bhakti movement was contributed greatly for making the Indian culture. This Bhakti movement has a main importance, main thing that has contributed greatly to the making of this Indian culture. Understood, students? Anyone have any doubt now? Hope all of you understood this lesson. Okay.